Today we will break down what makes Jon Silva successful and give you exercises and techniques that you can use in your sparring or in your fights to break your opponents down. So first, let's look at his stance. He's standing wide open with his body a bit back, what allows him to move out faster because he doesn't need to move his body a lot. He can just do a slight bit and then move out, angle off, etc. Or he can just easily slip because he's a bit back. Also, it makes him harder to hit because he created extra distance, what now you need to close in more distance. Instead of just this bit, now it's this bit. As well, because his body is a bit back, he's loaded up for other shots like a cross or a hook. A slight detail that you maybe notice as well when you watch Jon Silva is that he's moving his hands a lot. Bivol uses this as well. He's moving his jab up, down, and then he's jabbing, okay? He's moving his jab hand down, up, and then he's jabbing. Jon Silva's doing this as well. He's throwing the jab out, the cross out, the jab out, but he's not hitting his opponent. He's just throwing it out on his face and then maybe following up with a kick or even following up with the jab or the cross, because that distracts his opponent. And so when you move your hands, you're distracting your opponent. Another thing that you maybe also notice when you watch Jon Silva is that he's pretty calm. He's smiling in the octagon, he's shaking hands with his opponent, and that calmness allows him to as well don't stay too tense during the fight, so don't make mistakes or be too nervous. Nervousness leads to mistakes, and so get that laser focus because you're calm, you are relaxed in that situation, but also he's allowing to break down his opponents because their opponents, they are looking at him and think, man, I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired right now, and this guy's smiling, he's shaking my hands. What the fuck, brother? What the fuck? And so sometimes smiling during the fight when you're winning is also leading to break your opponent down even more. So do that. And some exercise that you can do to really have that calmness during the fight is first the breath hold. And so the breath hold is allowing you to stay calm during pressure. Pressure is the fight. So when you're doing a breath hold, your air will go out. Indeed, your air will go out soon because you're a human. And when your air goes out, your body wants to breathe. And so it's panicking. But when you can now stay calm under that pressure of breathing, then you can do this in a fight as well. And so that makes you more calm. I think Lomachenko is also doing this. He's doing breath holds like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes even. And so that's something that a lot of fighters are doing, and maybe you want to do breath holds as well. Another thing that you can do as well is first of all stay comfortable in sparring. So when you are in sparring, you should laugh, you should really stay comfortable there, stay comfortable getting hit, don't blink, don't do shit like that. Get rid of your blinking, I made a video about this as well. But just be in sparring and really be comfortable, laugh, maybe dance a bit, because it's just sparring, brother, okay? Don't take it too seriously, it's playing. Of course, the ring is something different, but when you are comfortable in sparring, you will be as well a bit more comfortable in the ring. Another thing is meditation. Do some meditation, breathe in, breathe out, get your cortisol level down so you're not stressed in the ring, so you can control your body. Meditation is the ultimate hack to controlling your body and staying calm. And as well for comfortableness in fighting, it's cardio. When you have no cardio, when your air is going out, you will not be comfortable in that situation. It's just how it is. Your shots will be sloppy, you will get hit more. You need to train your cardio. Okay, now let's analyze this knockout. We now talked about the stance of Jon Silva. We now talked about how he's moving. Now let's analyze a practical fight. Okay, first, let's see those elbows to the body. They're a pretty fucking nasty technique. And maybe you want to adapt them in sparring as well, because I don't see a lot of fighters or people in sparring using them. So they are a really good technique to use. So first, Jon Silva has control over his head, what prevents him from controlling his thigh. Also, Arman grabbed at the knee. When Jon Silva creates enough distance, he can easily move out, okay? So when he grabs at his knee and he just creates a bit of distance, what you see here, he can just easily move out the way. Now Jourdain, I don't know if I'm speaking his name correctly, moves his head up, okay? And now he's exposed in the front. You see a big opening there. And Jon Silva notices this and also has control of his head. So he cannot possibly move out, move back, etc. He can maybe circle off, but he's not doing this. And so, you see, he did not circle off and he gets knocked out. Also, what you see here is that Jon Silva rotated his foot pretty nicely. He brought his 2 foot together and then rotated out with his hips, did a lot of movement there, and then got the knockout power just from a slight transition from wrestling to boxing. Let's see how that happened. When we are rewinding back where it all started, Wilson stepped outside his lead foot from Jon Silva. Then he closed distance. Jon Silva noticed that and backed up to create more distance for a counter. And now Wilson continued to move forward because he thought, okay, he's creating distance, I want to close distance as well. But what Wilson didn't do is commit to any shot. And so Jon Silva came over his hand and committed to a shot. And so this was the moment where it all began. Now just a nice quick shot from Wilson, a nice 1-2. John Silva was a bit too relaxed, probed a bit and got hit, but then the shoulder rolled the second shot, okay? And so when you're a bit too relaxed, you should not be relaxed in a fight. I said at the beginning you should be calm during the fight, but not relaxed, okay? Of course you should be relaxed, don't get me wrong, you should not be tense, you should be relaxed, but not relaxed in the sense that, okay, I'm just going to do nothing now, I'm just going to stand there, he's not going to hit me. You should always be aware of anything. You should not lose focus, okay? That's what I mean by not being relaxed. And so John Silva was a bit too relaxed, probed a bit, and then got hit with a nice 1-2. The 2 was rolled, but yeah. Now here you see Wilson walking into a shot again. You saw at the first example, Wilson moved in, John Silva created distance, Wilson again didn't commit it really to a shot, he just put his hands out and John Silva countered that with moving backwards. And what you see here is that Silva probably mastered that knockout from Conor McGregor to Jose Aldo, because in that knockout you see Jose Aldo moving in and Conor McGregor moving back with his hook, okay? And John Silva is doing this as well. Wilson is moving forward, he's moving backwards whilst throwing a punch. And that is something that your opponents don't really notice as much, because not a lot of people are doing this. It's a pretty unorthodox way of fighting. And so when an opponent is moving in, move backwards, and whilst you're moving backwards, hit him with a shot. That's how you should do it. Silva got more out of the way, he moved backwards, and Wilson wanted to close the distance to hit him, but he got clipped again. So remember guys, never commit to a shot or never just chase someone down when he is moving backwards, okay? Never. When someone is slipping, a lot of guys just throw hooks and try to hit him someone, but then you will just get clipped more. You cannot chase someone down. You need to find reactions or find mistakes that they are doing when they are moving backwards to then hurt them. But not chase them down, because chasing down will never work. They are faster than you, brother. They are fucking faster than you, most of the time. And so, don't chase them down. Look, use your fight IQ and think, okay, he's walking backwards. Maybe I can throw a teep, or he's walking backwards. Maybe I could angle him off and then throw a low kick, whatever. Find reactions or logical things that you can do instead of just chasing them down. Okay, John Silva sees an opening of Wilson, gets inside positioning, what makes him harder to hit, hitting it overhand, and still, with that inside positioning, being somewhat out of an angle. Okay, you see that here. Then following up with a cross. Most people just throw one punch that lands. That's good when a punch lands, but why not throw two, you know? So remember that as well when you're the next time sparring. You can land one hook, but maybe you can land up, or you can follow up with a cross, or you can follow up with a body hook, or a body shot, etc. And as well, notice when something works, okay? When you see there's an opening, or when you see that the inside foot positioning works for his opponent, then do that again. Do that again. Of course, adapt when you see it doesn't work anymore, or when you see that your opponent's picking up on it, adapt, use it a bit different, but use things that are working. Use them again and again and again, because maybe you're landing one body kick, really flushly, it hurts your opponent, but you don't use it anymore. You don't use it again. Why not? Do it again, hurt your opponent with the techniques that are landing. Okay, now again a big shot. John Silva is getting that outside foot positioning, landing a clean shot, and now Wilson is hurt. Wilson is hurt badly. He's a bit lazy, he's throwing lazy shots and getting countered again. Now this could have ended the fight. Wilson shoots for a takedown and John Silva counters him clean, flushly with a knee. And so this could have ended the fight, really. But Wilson had a nice chin, so let's give props to him. Knowing he's on the fence, Silva throws a cross and Wilson reaches out, okay? Remember that, never reach out when a shot is coming in. Never do that. And now Wilson is dead. You know it. Wilson is fucking dead. John continues to punch. Wilson doesn't defend. Always. Always. And maybe even drill that. When you're hurt. Drill when you're hurt, okay? That's something that you need to do. A lot of people just drill when they are good, when something is working good. But also drill scenarios where you're hurt bad. Prepare for the worst. Prepare when you're clipped. Prepare when you're hurt. Prepare when you don't have a lot of cardio. What can you do then? But never just do nothing. Never stand there and don't defend. So now what can you adapt in your own training today? First of all, that's the calmness, okay? Use that comfortableness in the fights. Second of all, use things that are working, brother. Use them again and again and again. Then play a bit with footwork, the outside foot positioning, the inside foot position. Do that as well. Move your hands a bit, be harder to predict, have that fluidness. Maybe even get in John Silva's stance. Use that. Maybe try a bit of his stance, try a bit of his fighting style, okay? And as well, have a bit of an unorthodox fighting style if you want to. That's what you can take from this thing.